Howdy, AP PreCal. It is Ms. Kosh. As promised, I am now talking about this set of notes and practice on my iPad so you can see Desmos. So on this first one, you need to watch my first video because I'm going to try and make these two videos different. So watch the first one, get an understanding of what's happening, and then come back. Okay. So on this one, I wrote the system, I wrote the equations, and then I wanted to show you by hand. I started showing all sorts of methods for how to solve this by hand. Now, this is going to show up on the calculator part of the exam, so I don't know where to tell you to skip ahead in the video if you don't really care about this, but I do want to talk about it. So what I did is I took these three equations that I have right here. I then grouped the first and the second, and then the second and the third. And by multiplying the top one by -1, I was able to, and then I got a negative a plus 4a was a 3a right here. And then it became a positive b plus 2b was a 3b. And then I had a -9 and a positive 6 that gave me a -3. And then I noticed that I can divide everybody by 3, and when I do, I get a plus b equals -1. Then I took the second and third equation, multiplied again by -1, came up with I got this 21a plus 3b equals 33, and I realized, oh, all of these are divisible by 3. These numbers are too big. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I divided those out. And then I realized if I multiply the top equation by -1, then I add these two equations. So basically, I'm using the elimination method of solving a system of equation a couple times. And so then I solved for A. Then I came back to one of the previous equations, this 7a, this one right here. I came back to that equation, plugged in 2, was able to solve for B. Then I came back to another equation from the beginning, maybe over here, that equation. And I plugged in A and B and then found what C was. Okay, so that was one option. If you had to do it entirely by hand, knock yourself out. This would not be enjoyable for the example 3 and 4 up here because I designed 1 and 2 to be nice, pretty numbers, and I designed 3 and 4 to be ugly numbers. Or I didn't design it at all, and I expect them to be ugly numbers. Okay, the other option was that you can take a matrix and do row operations and manipulate it so that you can find the solution. So I took all the coefficients of these right here, and I put them into a matrix. And then I did by hand what we got the calculator to do for us in my previous video. And so I started, my goal when I do these is I get a 1 in this spot and then zeros below it. And then I get a 1 in this spot and zeros above and below it. And then I get a 1 in this spot and zeros above it. So that's kind of the strategy. And so I don't know that you want me to talk through this. Comment down below if you want me to give you more detail as to what I did and why I did it. But ultimately, I came down to this identity matrix right here. This is the identity matrix, is equal to 2, -3, 4. Which tells us that A equals 2 and B equals -3 and C equals 4. Okay, and then I took a picture of, this was what we did on the calculator a minute ago where we used that simultaneous equation solver, and there was the answer. And then option 4, now let me show you option 4. So I think I have Desmos open. Nope, that's YouTube. That was me uploading the previous video to YouTube. Okay, so I had to Google this today because I didn't know how to do this. But what you can do is you can set, they had it doing a regression between the two different sides of the equation. So I typed in each equation. So the first one, if you remember, was A minus B plus C equals 9. So I typed in the A minus B plus C as the first position here in R, and then I put 9 as the first position in L. So it's the right-hand side and the left-hand side. I guess that's technically, the first one was the left-hand side and the second was the right-hand side, but it doesn't really matter because you can switch sides. Then I typed in the second equation, 4A plus 2B equals plus C, and then I put that was equal to 6 in the second bit there. And then you can't see the whole thing, but this is 25A plus 5B plus C, and that was equal to 39. And so I found the letters in the keyboard, whatever, yeah. Okay, so then once you have that, then what you can do is you can do a regression between the two of them. And so with that one, let's see. Desmos, where's my little, oh, if I go to type something, there we go. I used this right here. So I did this capital R, and then I did, got rid of that capital. I did this little button here, which showed the regression. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not quite sure why it works the way it does, but it does. And so there we go. That's funny. It didn't like to do it a second time. But it gives us now this A value, the B value, and the C value. So if you, for whatever reason, don't have a calculator, but you want to solve a system, apparently now there's a way to do it on Desmos. I think the calculator's a little easier, not going to lie. But, I mean, this isn't bad. I would just practice it a bit. There we go. Okay, so then let's look at the other thing that I wanted to do was on Desmos. I feel okay about not doing these two. We did those on the calculator and such. Or no, I did the first one just now, and the second one is in the other video. Let's do one of these on Desmos. So let's see if well, actually, I have it in front of me. So in Desmos, I'm going to get rid of this other stuff. And what I want to do is I'm going to add a table. And so I'm entering in, I'm doing number 5 for my worksheet. So I see a 0.5, enter, I see a 1 point, nope. Where did I get 0.5? That doesn't make any sense. There's not a 0.5. Let's try that again. My bad. Okay, it's a 0.1, and then it was a 1.4, and then it's a 2.3, and then a 3.8, and a 6.2. Did I type that in correctly? I think I did. And then I see 18, I see 121, I see 152, I see, enter, I see 160, and I see 12. Okay, and so now what this will let me do, well, okay, let's see. I guess I have to, is there a way for it to find things for me? I think I typed something in wrong. No, that's the equation I made. 1.1, 1.4, 2.3, 3.8, 6.2. That doesn't look right. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's change the scaling here. The x-axis. I needed to scale out to find the top of that, but now it just looks absolutely absurd. So let's go from, say, -5 to, we only went as high as 6, so maybe 10. Okay, now, okay, there's the potential for it to be quadratic. Look at that. Okay, so then if you notice in this bar, over the blue bar over to the side, at the top is this, that was a line with the dots. Did you see that? If I click on that, it'll give me the regression options. Well, this one, they told me was quadratic. Look at that. How lovely. I like the fact, you see where I'm next to the word equation, it has this, it looks like a little tablet with an arrow. If you hit that arrow, it'll take that equation and put it here. And what I have discovered that I like doing is changing this to be f of x equals. And so then if I need to do more, I can say, oh, well, why don't you please tell me what f of 2 is equal to, and it will. Okay, but there's that equation, and if I had wanted to model it as a cubic, I would just go something like that. So hopefully between these two videos, you've learned how to do these sorts of modeling, coming up with equations using both Desmos and your calculator. You can solve a system if it only has 2 variables using like equations, like using graphs. So say I ended up with an equation like 2x plus 3y equals 11. Okay, and I don't know, so here's that equation. And then I had, I don't know, I'm totally making something up. Say 6x plus 7y equals 41. Okay, right? Isn't that a thing? I don't know. I'm too old. I can look at those two. So if I had written a problem where I came up with a system, I can then come over here and find their intersection. Cool. Okay, like, subscribe, comment, and let me know how I can help you. Okay, go practice.